Hello, this video is for picking up thumb gussets on mittens using Magic Loop. And what I prefer to do is to just move the stitches over to a circular needle off of whatever you're using to hold them. First and foremost, just get them onto what needle you're planning on knitting with, and then once you have them on the needle, I split the stitches in half. So currently I have 10 stitches on this particular thumb, so I'm gonna put 5 and 5 on each needle, or each side of my needle, and I need to pick up 2 of the stitches from the other side of what I'm working on. So what I do is I pick up actually no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit across here, and then I'm going to pick up as I'm picking up across the thumb. So I want to get a different yarn so you can see. Okay, so the first step I'm going to do is knit across with a different yarn. I'm using a pink variegated yarn just so that the contrast will be easier to see. So I knit my 5 stitches on this needle, and then I pull my needle out, I push this needle over, and then I knit my next 5 stitches. Like I said, the stitch count that you're working with could be very different. It could be, 3 and 3, it could be 8 and 8. It just depends on the size of the needle, size of the thumb hole, what yarn are you using. I'm just using some made up numbers to make the tutorial. So there's going to be 2 stitches back here, but I know I'm going to have a gap. So what I tend to do is go 1 row below what I'm knitting with. And so I just knit into this stitch. So I want to go 1 row below, and I want to pick up a stitch. So come in here and grab my yarn, and I knit into a stitch below, and then I come over here and I also knit a stitch below, so I increased 2 stitches without being my picked up stitches. And then although I'm going to put these onto this needle for just a very short time, I'm choosing to pick up these stitches with a weird. So I have 1 needle almost to the edge, a loop, my 5 plus 2, and now I'm coming to the back of these stitches, and I need to get those 2 stitches. So they're not actually knit, they're sitting here. So I'm going to go into here and pull up a loop. Now I'm only doing 2, so this one I'm going to go ahead and move over to this needle. See, because I just wanted 1 on that needle. Then I can move it again, because I'm going to want to pick up this one for this needle. So we go to the next stitch, and I'm sorry about all this stuff in the way. It's fiddly, and I know that. So we just did this stitch. Now we're going to do this stitch next to it. So we did this one, we need this one. So we go ahead and we grab that next stitch. And now we're going to, because we still need the stitches down below that are in the gap, right? So we need to go to the row below. So in this case, it's this stitch. And then to the one to the side of it, it's going to be this stitch here. So we're going to go into those and pick up. So I picked up one. This one I want to get cleaner, so I'm going to put it in there and knit. So I did a left lifted increase and a right lifted increase. And now I'm back where I started my pickup. Now, some people go ahead and move the beginning of the round back here. I tend to keep it where I picked up. There's no real right or wrong as far as where you start. There, you can put your start around here, even though you just picked these up, or you can put it here. There's really no, this is how you have to do it. I just find it easier to do it where I started the round. We'll pull that yarn a little tighter because we just knit into it, and then knit across. And then we're just gonna finish the thumb working one side at a time at this point, except when I get to where I picked up those 2 stitches down below, I am gonna decrease. So I had 5 stitches on the original thumb, and then I increased 2 stitches, and then we picked up over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a decrease here, and then I'm gonna knit to the end of the row. Then I'm going to go to the other row, and this one has the stitches that we picked up just after the first stitch. So we'll knit the first stitch because it was on the back of the row, and then I decrease here because I want to decrease those stitches that I picked up. Now, typically what I will do, especially because I'm on a interchangeable needle, or a long circular needle, it doesn't have to be interchangeable. I don't think this one is, it's not. But on a circular needle, I would typically go ahead and whoever this is for, have them put their thumb in here and see if it's too tight, too loose. In this case, it's way too tight because I did a makeshift one. And then, if it was too tight, you have to come back out. But if it's too loose, then do another decrease. But if it's not too loose, just leave the number of stitches there. Just know that when you go to decrease for your top of your thumb, you're going to have to decrease more if you're making a closed thumb, and if you're doing a fingerless one, you have more stitches than what the pattern calls for. It's up to you. It's your knitting. You're the boss of it. But that's how I pick up for a thumb gusset on Magic Loop. Thank you.